let's rank every single match. Raw, both nights of WrestleMania, NXT Stand and Deliver, and Monday Night Raw that happened during WrestleMania weekend. There were 30 matches in total, and I'm going to go in order of lowest rated to highest rated. Let's get into it. Roxanne Perez versus Indy Hartwell from Monday Night Raw. I'll be honest, can't really rate it because bathroom break. Chelsea Green versus Jade Cargill from Monday Night Raw. Can't rate it because it was like 30 seconds, but it was dope to see Jade Cargill. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest from WrestleMania Sunday. 7-second cash in, can't rate it, but it was awesome to see live and in person. Now we're getting into matches that I actually can rate. Elektra Lopez versus Zelina Vega from WrestleMania Smackdown. This was very much kind of a dud. It was a TV match. It happened. That's really all I can say about it. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso from WrestleMania Saturday. Dog, when I tell you that I was very disappointed in this match, I had high expectations, but at the same time, I kind of knew that they both had the same moveset. I said as much in like every single prediction I did. They had the same moveset. It's going to be interesting to see how they switch it up. And the thing is, they didn't switch it up. And then it kind of divulged into just super kicks at one point. And it was like, for all the people that critique Young Bucks matches and AEW matches, this kind of diverged into like what felt like a lower paced, lower class AEW match towards the end. And I didn't really like it. It didn't do anything for me. New Catch Republic versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller from WrestleMania Smackdown. Tag team match that kind of existed on SmackDown. Yeah, that's really it. Andrade and Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar from WrestleMania Saturday. This is on the lower end of WrestleMania matches. Honestly, I don't want to say the worst because I don't really think there was a bad match on WrestleMania outside of Jimmy and Jay, and I would even say that was bad. It was just disappointing. You're not going to find too many WrestleMania matches that are lower on the list, and if they are, they're really WrestleMania Saturday matches. So this is one of them. It just, not much happened in it except for Jason Kelce, and I forgot the other Eagles player's name, but Jason Kelce was involved, and that's really the highlight of the match. I'm going to look at the screen because I don't know all these names. I'm so sorry. Fallon Henley, Kelani Jordan, and Thea Hale versus Izzy Dame, JC Jane, and Kiana from NXT Stand and Deliver. This is another match where it's like, kind of happened. It existed. It was there. I'm happy the women got the limelight on the NXT Stand and Deliver stage. The only woman in that match that really like caught my interest in me was Thea Hale. Like, I feel like there's a bright future in her. I don't know why, but she gives me a lot of Nikki Cross energy. Very beautiful woman, very talented, but she gives me Nikki Cross energy. And something about me kind of likes that. I don't know why. I just kind of like it. Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control from WrestleMania Saturday. The entrances were better than the match. And the match wasn't bad, but when I look back on this match, I just say, wow, those were some really dope entrances. And that's really the biggest summarization I give about this match. The entrances were dope. Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa from WrestleMania Smackdown. Overall, a good television match. And I feel like if you've been watching WWE for long enough, you can differentiate a pay-per-view match from a television match when someone tells you, oh, this was a good TV match versus this was a good pay-per-view match. So yeah, this is a good television match. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on Friday Night Smackdown. WrestleMania Smackdown. I mean, it was a battle royal. I like battle royals. It was not one of the best battle royals. Actually, it kind of falls lower on the list of battle royals I've seen in the past. But, you know, it was cool seeing Bronson Reed win it. So, thumbs up for that. LA Knight versus AJ Styles from WrestleMania Sunday. I had low expectations for this match, and it didn't disappoint. It just also didn't exceed them at the same time. Like, the work rate was good. And it was cool to see LA Knight to get the victory. He definitely needs a big victory at a WrestleMania stage. It just wasn't much beyond that point. Awesome Truth and John Cena versus Judgment Day from Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania. It was a good 6-man tag TV match. It first started off as a 2-on-3, and then basically at the very end of the match, John Cena came out, tagged in, hit his 5 moves of doom that was joined in by The Miz and R-Truth, and they all got the pose at the end, and R-Truth had his Wrestlemania moment again because he got the team with John Cena, so that was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. I was happy that I was there to see that because I got to see John Cena wrestle, maybe not a WrestleMania, but on the Raw after WrestleMania. So, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Chad Gable and Sami Zayn versus Imperium from the Raw after WrestleMania. TV good. TV good. And Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn is official for next week on Monday Night Raw. Best believe your boy is cheering for Chad Gable because he should have won at WrestleMania. Should have been in a match at WrestleMania. But it was Sami Zayn. And I'll talk more about Sami Zayn versus Gunther later. But it should have been Chad Gable, goddammit. Ilya Dragunov versus Shinsuke Nakamura from the Raw after WrestleMania. I was excited and hyped to see Ilya's debut. I actually was about to go to the bathroom, and then I heard Ilya's theme song, and I hit the quickest U-turn ever, and I absolutely stepped on someone's shoes. Like, whoever's shoes I stepped on in the press box that day, I'm sorry. I was so excited because Ilya is one of my favorite WWE wrestlers. He has been since he debuted. I've been watching Ilya Dragunov since 2018 when he was in the indie scene. So following his career has been one of my journeys in WWE. And knowing that he's going to be in the draft next week, possibly going to Raw and SmackDown, best believe your boy is fucking locked in on whatever show he's going to be on. So Ilya versus Shinsuke, was it this crazy amazing match? No, not really. At best, it was good. But it was awesome to see Ilya Dragunov. I know he's the NXT champion. He's being drafted, which means he's either going to relinquish it or he's going to drop the title soon. To who? Not too sure. But it's awesome to see Ilya on Monday Night Raw. The Pride versus the Final Testament from WrestleMania Sunday. Oh, that's Saturday. Whoops. The Pride versus the Final Testament from WrestleMania Saturday. It was a Philly street fight. Bubba Ray Dudley was the special guest referee. There were tables, there were kendo sticks, there were chairs. Was it the craziest street fight I've ever seen? No, it was actually pretty tame, but I think the highlight of the match was B-Fab and Scarlett getting involved and them going through tables and having their role in the match, which honestly kind of turned it into an 8-person tag towards the very end of this thing, but I honestly enjoyed this match more than I thought I was going to. Is it high on the list? Not really, but you know, don't sleep on it. I think it's one of the sleeper matches of both nights of WrestleMania. Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed versus Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet from the Raw after WrestleMania. It's really hard to mess up a Fatal 4-Way match. They're always fun and charismatic. And this was just that. I was betting on probably either Ricochet or Drew to win, so Jay winning actually caught me off guard. And I'm not mad about that. Jey Uso going after Damian Priest. He's not going to win, but it's going to make for a really good match at, WrestleMania Backlash in France. So I'm excited for that. What is yeet in French? Can't wait for them to do that shit in France, bro. That's going to be lit. Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! Go Junior! The 6-team ladder match from WrestleMania Saturday. I did take a bathroom break during this match, and by the time I came back, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory pulled down the titles, and I finished out the other half of it, but I watched it back on replay, and it was pretty damn good. It's not the best ladder match I've seen, but everybody played their role. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory being SmackDown Tag Team Champions, don't know if that was the choice I would have went with, but Awesome Truth winning the Raw Tag Team Championships was probably one of the highlights of the night. The crowd was just amped and hype and so happy to see Awesome Truth, especially R-Truth finally getting his WrestleMania moment. Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes from NXT Stand and Deliver. A really damn good match between these two men. The first two black men to main event a WrestleMania weekend. Not quite WrestleMania, but WrestleMania weekend. Trick Williams was super hot in Philadelphia. Everyone was chanting, whoop that Trick. As a whole, I don't think the match lit the world on fire the way many thought it was going to, which is why it's not like even in the top 10. But it's still a really damn good match, and I'm happy I got to see it live and in person. Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria from NXT Stand and Deliver. Just a very tasteful women's match that happened. It was technically sound. It was in-ring proficient. And honestly, I think it is one of the best women's matches of the entire weekend. If you don't believe me, rewatch it back because you might think it otherwise. Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins from WrestleMania Saturday. I know you're thinking, why is this so high on the list? I mean, it's midway through, so it's not that high. But I'm sorry, a 45-minute match where the first 20 minutes are just so slow and you're stuck out in the freezing cold. This match just, I don't know. Like, when I think back on this match, I'm not going to think back on it as the greatest match in WrestleMania's history. I'm going to think back on it as one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania's history. But it took so long to get to the drama and the intensity that it really cannot be high on the list for me. So, controversial take, but it was awesome to see The Rock wrestle. But that's really the highlight of the match, is I got to see The Rock wrestle. And Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins as a tag team, bang out. Like, if they want to go after the tag titles, which is unrealistic, but if they wanted to go after the tag titles, I'm not against it. Go for it. Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo from NXT Stand and Deliver. This was surprisingly much better than I thought it was going to be. Tony D'Angelo, he's definitely a tag team guy. I don't know if I would picture him as NXT champion, and I'm kind of glad he didn't win because I don't know how his reign would have ended or would have been. But Ilya Dragunov, as tense as he is and as fantastic as he is as wrestling, I feel like he could pull anybody to having a near great match, and this was that. This was nearly a great match between these two men, and it made to be one of the top 10 matches of the weekend. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier from NXT Stand and Deliver. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, like, they're a really damn good tag team, and it mainly is composed of dope spots from Braun Breaker, but they have really good tag team chemistry together. Also, Nathan Frazier, Axiom, really good tag team chemistry together, especially Nathan Frazier, who flies all over the place, and that contrasted really well with Braun Breaker's powerhouse abilities. Baron Corbin catching one of the two with his End of Days was really dope. And I don't know, man. I'm fine with this tag team match heavies. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins from WrestleMania Sunday. As I said before, it's not the best match they had, but like it was still really great. Especially Drew McIntyre running at him with the Claymore as soon as the match started and getting that near fall. It got everyone like really caught off guard because it's like, is he really going to squash Seth Rollins? But you know, Seth Rollins already is working off of a main event from the previous night, so it's believable. And Drew McIntyre worked the heel role very greatly. Seth Rollins' work from underneath was really great. Drew McIntyre came out with the victory, and the crowd popped, and it was great. I enjoyed it, man. It's hard to not like this match, put it that way. It's hard to not like it, so it has to be high on this list. So we have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch from WrestleMania Saturday. It was a hot opener from WrestleMania weekend and a great match, one of the better matches of the entire weekend. I had nothing but high expectations for it, and it was met in this match. There were so many near falls, so many high spots, and I didn't know where it was going to go, and I think that was where most of the fun in this match was. You didn't truly know who was going to win, because anybody could win. Anybody could win this match. Rhea Ripley retained. There were some people in the crowd who were actually disappointed, but, you know, I'm curious as to what's next for Rhea. I honestly and truly, with the draft coming up, I think the only move is that she goes to SmackDown. She beat everybody on the Raw roster. There's nobody left for her. You got to move Rhea to SmackDown. With Judgment Day or without her, she's got to go to SmackDown. They got to mix it up. That's all I know. Number 5, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens from WrestleMania Sunday. This was really fun, and Logan Paul just is so great and so fantastic at just being one of the best athletes in all of wrestling. Randy Orton, I feel like, is still peak. He's still peak. Kevin Owens, he was good in this match as well. When he teamed with Randy Orton, they made for good chemistry, and then when they finally went at each other, that was really cool. ISO Speed's interference in this match might be one of the best highlights of the match. And also the highlight of the match was Logan Paul's picture-perfect frog splash that he hit onto Kevin Owens to get the win. And yeah, I don't know if you guys feel the same way about it, but I think it's one of the best matches of WrestleMania weekend. Top 5. Number 4, Gunther versus Sami Zayn from WrestleMania Saturday. As much as I thought it should have been Chad Gable in the spots, I will be the first to say that this honestly was a great match. Gunther having a great match. Are we shocked? We shouldn't be. Sami Zayn having a great match. Are we shocked? We really shouldn't be. But these two went in here and they put on a classic. Sami Zayn, when he is being the underdog babyface, there's almost nobody better aside from maybe Bayley and maybe Kenny Omega. But with Sami Zayn and Bayley, top 5 underdog roles in all of professional wrestling. And Sami Zayn channeled that in here. I almost got NXT Sami Zayn vibes when at that very end where he's having that comeback and he finally hits that twisting brainbuster on a Gunther and then follows it up with 2 back-to-back Haluva kicks to get the win. It was an exciting moment and I was happy to be there for it. Hey, Number 3. Hey, Obafemi versus Dijak versus Josh Briggs from NXT Stand and Deliver. This was a monstrous match. 3 big, meaty men slapping meat, and they were just powerhousing each other all over the place. Obafemi is a monster, a freak of nature. Dijak, he is a monster who can also do flips and springboards. Josh Briggs, I'm still being accustomed to Josh Briggs' style, but he's pretty cool. Everybody just had their chance to shine. Josh Briggs, he was selling a lot. Obafemi had this one spot where he got Josh Briggs and Dijak on his shoulder in a double fireman's carry position. And it was just dude, this is our generation's Mark Henry if he was also just more agile. Obafemi is him, and I can't wait for him to get called up to the main roster. Part of me hopes he gets called up during this draft, but we shall see what happens with that. There's so much love about this match, and for me, that's why it's my number 3. Number 2, Io Sky versus Bayley from Wrestlemania Sunday. This was the best women's match of the entire weekend. Io Sky is a fantastic wrestler. Bayley is an exceptional wrestler when, you give her time to go out there and cook, and these two women actually had the time to go out there and cook. And they did, and it was fantastic. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best women's matches WWE's put on in the last couple years. The only thing I wished is that maybe they would have got 2 more minutes. Just 2. Just the high spots and Io Sky hitting he's back-to-back bridging German suplexes. Her athleticism was on par. Bayley just working the underdog babyface role again was just great. Anyway, this was number 2. Not quite number 1, but number 2 for best match of the weekend. But number 1, and I think everyone saw this coming, but the best match from WrestleMania weekend has to be, without question, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, Bloodline Rules for the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania Sunday. The match told a great story from the very beginning, up until the point where it turned into Avengers Endgame. We saw Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa and John Cena and The Rock and The Undertaker and Seth Rollins. Everybody just came together and it was just fucking amazing. It was great. And I watched it back, and on TV, people were losing their minds. I was losing my mind in the crowd. I still can't believe I saw The Rock and The Undertaker and John Cena sharing the ring at WrestleMania. I still can't believe I saw that shit. But, man, is it the greatest WrestleMania match ever? You're putting up against Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker for WrestleMania 25. I think I might have to sit on that for maybe a couple months and watch it back a couple more times before I get to that point. It is still very recent, and so recency bias is obviously still in all of our hearts and all of our minds. But I think when it is down to it, it is one of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever. And for that matter, it's 5 stars, and it is the best match of the weekend. I want you guys to comment down below and tell me, what do you guys think is your number 1 best WrestleMania match of the weekend? Comment down below. Let me know. We got so many more videos coming soon. WrestleMania vlogs are going to be this weekend. Watch out for them. Can't wait to talk more about it. I love you guys, and I will talk to you all later. Peace. Hey,